Hi everyone, it's Melissa, and today I am going to do the Can I Find That Other Book challenge. How this works is there's a list of questions or prompts or something, and you put yourself on a timer and you try to find the books from your bookshelf as quickly as you can. So I wasn't tagged by anybody, I just really wanted to do this because it looked like a lot of fun. And I will just tag everyone I know to do this if you think it sounds like fun as well. The original tag was from Keeping Tabs. I will link that video below. I have not looked at the questions. I am going to set up a timer. Okay, we're starting the timer now. Question 1 is, do you have a book with a fox on the cover or part of the plot? I do. Question 2 is, do you have a book that was published the year you were born or within a 3-year radius? Oh no. 73, no. 93, oh no. Ooh, yes. Found one. Okay. 3, do you have a book with music as a weapon or magic? That's very specific. As a weapon? Okay, I don't think this one does, but... Number 4, do you have a series with mismatched covers? I do, it drives me nuts. Blammo. Number 5, do you have a book with a shapeshifter? Yes, I do. Number 6, do you have a book signed by the author? No, I don't. Number 7, do you have a book? Oh wait, no, I do. Do you have a book with a mostly red cover? There we go. Do you have a book between 287 and 306 pages? Oh my god, wait, apparently I cannot estimate the size of a book. That's too long too. Oh, finally, I didn't know that one would be so hard. Okay, number 9, do you have a book with a main character who wears glasses? Where is it? Right here. That was also hard. I'm doing really bad. Okay. 10, do you have a book with a title that has the same number of letters as your first name? Okay, 7 letters. A title with 7 letters. Ah. 11, do you have a book with cybercrime / technology as a plot point? Oh, do ebooks count? I have an ebook. Oh. Duh. 12, do you have a book written in another language or translated to English? I do have a book in another language. "13, do you have a book written by an Asian author? Yes. 14, do you have a book with a moon on the cover? Oh, I don't know. Let's look at the spooky stuff. Or I guess science fiction might be. Okay, that one. 15, do you have an illustrated children's book? Oh my god, so many. Okay, I had to go to my daughter's room, but I got one. 16, do you have a collection of fairy tales or myths? Yes, I do. 17, do you have a sci-fi or fantasy with an alliance between races? Okay, it was actually embarrassing that I didn't think of that right off the bat. 18, do you have a book with a narrow front cover? Okay, I found one. 19, do you have a book that includes the first chapter of a sequel? Oh. Okay, one of the ones I already pulled does. Do you have a book with a broken spine? So many. Let's grab this one because it's the first I see. Bonus question, do you have a book that covers 3 or more of the above prompts? We're not doing the bonus question. We're not doing the bonus question because my brain's done. Okay. I'm a bit out of breath. I am very competitive. I took that far too seriously. All right, I just want to show you the books that I pulled. The first one was a book with a fox on the cover or part of the plot. And I chose this. That is, I think this is supposed to be an Arctic fox. But this is Split Tooth by Tanya Tagaq. I can link where I've talked about this. The second one was, do you have a book that was published the year you were born or within a 3-year radius? That was difficult, but I found The Handmaid's Tale was published in 1985, and that's the year I was born. And I forgot to mention that it took me 16 minutes and 10 seconds to find all those books. The next one was, do you have a book with music as a weapon or magic? And I don't think that I do. I pulled Song of Susanna from the Dark Tower series because it has the word song in the title, and I was like panicking. But it's been a long time since I've read that series, but I don't think that music or like plays a role. But it's been so long since I've read it that I don't actually even remember why this is called Song of Susanna. But I'm going to count this because it's literally all I had. The next one was, do you have a series with mismatched covers? And it is the Dark Tower series. It drives me nuts that they don't match. So it started eons ago when I bought this edition. And immediately they stopped making these. So like they only made this type of cover, I think, just for the Gunslinger. So you literally cannot get any of the others in this like bigger. So the other ones I have are like these more like mass market paperback size kind of. And also I really enjoy the artwork on this a lot better. Like this is clearly like an actual painting, and like this is fine, but I'm, especially with like horror and like fantasy, I'm much more into painted covers, which were more common in like the 80s and 90s, and I'm less into like the graphic, like, yeah, I like this better. So I bought this cover. Then you couldn't get this cover anymore. I could only get in kind of this size. But then after I bought the next 3, then you couldn't find, I mean, I live in a small town, so it could be just like that I didn't have access to them. This one, they definitely didn't print anymore like this. But you couldn't even get this size anymore. So then, to finish off the series, I had to buy yet another size with yet another art style. See, like, there. None of them match. It's so mismatched, and it really hurts my heart, but I'm not rebuying this whole series just for them to match. Like, I am more cheap than I am persnickety about matching covers. It's not even the covers that bug me so much as the separate sizes, because they look stupid all lined up together. Anyway, the next one was, do I have a book with a shapeshifter? I chose The Jumbies by Tracy Baptiste. This is a middle grade set in the Caribbean, and it follows this girl who has to fight off jumbies, which are these like, it's from like Caribbean folklore, and they're these like monster, demon, supernatural beings that live in the woods. And one of them, like the main baddie, can shapeshift into the form of a woman. So that's what I chose for that. The next one is, do you have a book signed by the author? And I almost forgot, and I can't believe I did, because it was my most embarrassing moment ever. So I have this copy of It Gets Better by Dan Savage and Terry Miller. Well, it's edited by them. So this is like a compilation, anthology, I guess, of different essays from queer people. And it's all about, I'm sure you remember this whole kind of like the It Gets Better campaign. It was all about queer people sharing their stories of like triumph or like coming into their own, as kind of like a testament to like, hang in there, like things might be bad for you now as a queer youth, but like life gets better when you become independent. Like things will get better for you. So I was at, Dan Savage came to a city kind of sort of near me. We drove a long time to get there, but he was doing like a public speaking type thing. Anyway, it was great. I really love him. And he was selling books. And so I bought one simply so I could go up and get it signed by him. There it is. And I had all these things I wanted to say to him, how much I enjoy his show. He has like a column and a podcast called Savage Love. It's like a sex advice column / podcast. And he's great. And I got up in line with my boat to get it signed, and I was a complete turd. I was just like a turkey. I literally couldn't speak. I mean, this is a D-list celebrity, and I could not speak. Anyway, it was very embarrassing. Number 7 is a book with a mostly red cover, and I have a copy of The Disaster Artist by Greg Sestero. If you are like me and you like bad movies, like The Room is notoriously like the best bad movie ever made. I don't think it actually is, but it's up there. And this is kind of like the memoir, I guess, behind the scenes of one of the main actors from The Room, who is friends with the very eccentric, very odd director and star of that movie. And it was all about like how that movie got made. And oh, you probably heard of this because they also made a movie of it, but I never watched the movie. But The Disaster Artist, the book, is it's not great, and you probably would only be interested if you are a fan of The Room, as I am, but it's very fascinating. The next one was a book between 287 and 306 pages. It was this one. This one is 300 pages. It is The Left Hand of Darkness by Ursula K. Le Guin. Le Guin? I don't know how to pronounce her name. I've actually not read this. This is my husband's book, but it is on my list, so I will read it eventually. So I can't actually tell you what this is about. The next one was, do you have a book with a main character who wears glasses? And I don't know if this is cheating because maybe they're not like the main character, but they're one of the main characters. But Piggy from Lord of the Flies wears glasses. The next one was, do you have a book with a title that has the same number of letters as your first name? Melissa has 7 letters, as does Contact by Carl Sagan. I've only ever seen the movie of this. I haven't read the book. Again, this is my husband's copy. My husband, most of these books, because I don't buy books, most of these books are actually my husband's. Anyway, yeah, it's about a woman, like astrophysicist, who intercepts a message from intelligent life. And the movie was freaking fantastic. So I probably will read this eventually. I do like science fiction. 11 is, do you have a book with cybercrime or technology as a plot point? And I don't know why it didn't occur to me, but I own The Time Machine. This is literally about a time machine. The next one is, do you have a book written in another language? I have this middle grade book in French, Le Martyr d'Argent by Jocelyn Sans Chagrin, I want to say. Anyway, I don't know why. I have never read this. I don't know why I own this. The next one, do you have a book written by an Asian author? And I do. I have The Valley of Amazement by Amy Tan. I can't tell you what this is about. I think it's like a family drama, like family epic, following like different generations of women, maybe? I haven't read it. Do you have a book with a moon on the cover? And I found a sci-fi. What was it? Oh. 2001: A Space Odyssey by Arthur C. Clarke. Again, I've only seen the movie. I have not read this book, but it's about space and humanity. There we go. The next one, do you have an illustrated children's book? I grabbed the first one I found in my daughter's room, which is Goodnight Moon, which is a sweet classic book to send our little ones off to bed. Highly recommend. The next one, do you have a collection of fairy tales or myths? So I actually bought this on the recommendation of Jen Campbell, who's like probably my favorite booktuber. It's the first edition of the Brothers Grimm. So according to Jen, this is the only first edition you can get in English. Do you have a sci-fi or fantasy with an alliance between races? It took me so long to think of this, and I am frankly ashamed of myself as a Tolkien fan. Like, elves and men and hobbits and like all these races were working together. I pulled Lord of the Rings. Well, I have them as separate copies, but I pulled Fellowship. Do you have a book with a narrow front cover? I pulled Heartberries. I hauled this recently. I will link it maybe if I remember to do that. But yeah, it has this like, you know, these covers that have like the little narrow front. I don't like these kinds of covers. Do you have a book that includes the first chapter of a sequel? And it was this one. So at the back it has the chapter of the next book. That one's Wizard and Glass, which was my least favorite of the Dark Tower series. Do you have a book with a broken spine? So many. Yeah, it's like quite cracked. It's like on the verge of being torn in half, it feels like. But it's also so tattered on the front. I bought this new. Oh, it looks like it's also like water damaged. I don't know what happened to this book. I can only blame myself because I bought it new. But this is The Stand by Stephen King. Apocalyptic book about a virus that destroys humanity, and it's about the battle of good and evil in that wasteland. So, oh my, I hope this video wasn't a million minutes long. If you stuck around to the end, thank you. I hope this was mildly entertaining. I had a lot of fun doing it. And if you do it, like, please let me know. I love these, like, find books on your shelf type challenges. I think they're really fun to watch and to do. So, thanks for watching, everyone, and we'll talk soon. Take care. Bye.